Hello, everyone, and this is Whale FM Community Spotlight. Whale is home to one of the absolute most robust collection of artists, builders, collectors, and enthusiasts all under one oceanic roof. Join us as we look to highlight some of the projects being built and worked on by our diverse and potent creative community. First up, joining us today is a well regarded member of our community who seems to have his hands in dabbling many various facets of the art space. Noisy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Super hyped. A lot of people are excited to learn more about you and your work and what you do. Thank you for being such a wonderful member of our community. To just level set everyone, could you just tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, man. My name's Noisy. Kind of a multidisciplinary creator, I guess. I don't really know. I think I said it in the chat before. I don't really know where to slot myself, but I do pixels. I'm having a lot of fun with that, so I'm kind of rolling with that right now. Pixels is my jam right now, man.
I mean, definitely that's something that turned heads of everybody quickly. I've also seen some of your photography, and I think actually, in seeing it, asked you if you would work commercially, right? It looked like something I would see that would be in a photo spread or something. Before
Man,
we get
thank you.
into before we get to some of your specific stuff, could you just touch a little bit on your experience with Whale?
Yeah, man. I haven't been here very long. I guess it was towards the middle of December last year. I had actually, I'm gonna tell a story, and I hope it doesn't offend anybody or anything like that. But I had a guy that I talked to on Twitter, a fellow artist, and he kind of DM'd me one day, sort of bummed out. I just got blocked by this guy, and I was like, oh, what happened, man? That's not cool. And he told me it was whale shark, and I was like, well, I don't know who a whale shark is, man. But what happened? And he told me what he said, and I was like, well, dude, I'd have blocked you too. I guess it was like the whale shark goes through a couple of rashes of people just kind of hating on him. I've noticed. So anyway, long story short, I started checking the guy out, and I was like, man, I kind of like this guy's take, and saw that there was a Discord and a community, and I came in, and thank God you guys haven't kicked me out yet. So thanks for keeping me
Well,
around.
we still have time, right? So,
Yeah. I mean, I
well,
haven't shown my full. I mean, we reached my final form or whatever people say, right?
right, definitely. I was just perusing some of your Instagram stuff right now, where it has a lot of your photography. So talk to me about the projects you wanted to share with us today.
Man, so I started messing with voxel and pixels probably at the end of last year. It's just something I had never done before, and it kind of came a little bit easy to me, I guess. So I started building these properties, and I would do them originally with the idea of writing a little short story, and then the token would be just a frame of reference for somebody to kind of spin around and look at and all that good stuff. And the next thing I know, I've got a couple collectors, and they're saying, "Hey, you should try to push these into the metaverse." And I was like, "Okay, that doesn't I don't know how to do that, but I'm gonna give it a shot." I read up on it and looked at different platforms and what it took, and that's not so hard and all that good stuff. And so that kind of turned into Murder Houses, which is the kind of the flagship of the whole murder verse, so to speak. So the idea, long story short, is to have all these autonomous metaverse projects that can be used, on their own in the metaverse, however you want. But ultimately, all of the assets I would like to eventually combine. And I'm working with a guy that kind of has knowledge of the board game industry and all that good stuff. But I'd like to eventually merge everything into one nice tabletop board game, which until recently I thought was a really original idea. And then I found out other people have already had this idea and are executing it very well. But I'm going to give it a whirl anyway. And I'm having fun doing it. So either way, yeah.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of your stuff in the work in progress channel, and I enjoy hopping in because the level of detail that you put in is really incredible on these. Like these are sprawling, huge, locales in the metaverse that you've created in all these dimensions, and I can find like a tiny mouse hole that actually, if I look inside of it, there's like a home for the mouse and a block of cheese or something, right? There's always like the attention to detail is immaculate.
I like to put little hidden things. So I'm really happy when you picked up on that because usually I didn't expect anybody to pick up on things like that. But yeah, that's my little signature, I guess, or whatever.
So you're working on this project and then aggregating it all into something that's going to be, I don't know, connection to the physical world, it seems, as well, possibly with board games and whatnot.
Yes, that's the idea. I'd like to eventually 3D print everything, all the assets, have them 3D printed on a board of sorts, and I haven't decided yet. Kind of going back and forth with the guy I'm working with. Do we want to make the houses the board and 3D print the board itself, or how we're going to go about the general layout? But yeah, all the assets are going to kind of play a role in the little board game. Even the Murder House minis and Blood Diamonds eventually are going to play a little role in that.
So this IP, is there, bigger, is there, it sounds like there's a greater story to it, because I'm looking through some of the details, and there's obviously scarcity involved with some things being one of one and token burns and things of that nature. So you're working with some gamification for this as well.
Yeah, I guess to the extent, so I'm kind of a one man show. So to the extent that I could spearhead my own gamification, I guess I just don't have the resources to kind of do the big grand deal so quickly, you know. So I don't
Right.
move at the same pace as the space does, I guess. But yeah, yeah. I don't know if that
And
answered your
so,
question or not, to be honest
no,
with
no,
you.
no, it did. I mean, it was obvious that there was more to it than just on the surface. So I don't understand fully voxels and everything that you can do with this. These can be also, the files are there so they can be used in the metaverse, correct?
Yes, yeah, and completely open to, you want to open that thing up, chop it up, add another something to it, whatever you want to do. At that point, it belongs to the collector. You can do whatever you want with it. The only thing I'm trying to kind of work around right now is if somebody takes that file out of um, the Google Drive or the unlockable, how do I replace that if it's not there, if nobody tells me about it, or how do I keep track of that? I guess so. I'm still kind of working on that. I feel like there's a better way to deliver unlockables. Um, I'm not really sure what that looks like just yet. I'm kind of exploring that whole idea.
Right. And I can see from the sales here that obviously you have some fans of the IP, and you've definitely got some traction. Man, just looking at this it gives me PTSD from some Lego projects that I've done. I can't imagine doing this all digitally. How much time does this take you from start to completion when you do a new build?
Uh, Front to back, it usually takes anywhere between 1 to 2 weeks. On average, about 1.5 weeks, probably. So even if I was trucking along as fast as I possibly could with my, mouse finger clicking away, I couldn't crank out more than 52 in a year until I figure out how to generate them, which I'm working on too.
Right. I particularly like this boat here. That's very cool stuff. And so you have a number of collections on OpenSea. These are all extensions of the Murder House IP.
Yeah, the only one that isn't, I guess, would be, or the two would be Small Box, which were just some things people were asking for, some cheap things on Polygon, so I kind of threw them out there. And then Pixel Playground is just something I'm trying to, because sometimes I'll have these ideas and they don't quite fit into the Murderverse universe, and so I opened up Pixel Playground as a way to just like make fun little whale homes and things like that, that I just kind of have fun doing.
Right. And this is what you're referencing here, which, by the way, congratulations for winning the Metakey Whale contest this month for their showcase for their theme. I believe it was endangered, right?
It was, man, and so awesome. I don't win things, and so that was like I couldn't believe it. My jaw was on the ground. Everybody in this community that voted for me, you need to raise your standards. But thank you so much for not raising them just yet.
Yeah, no, super dope. It was great to see, and then obviously I've seen some of these other ones as well out there in the wild. Um, you had talked about this briefly. I'm just trying to understand blood diamonds. So this almost looks like micro machine esque. So these are Ethereum symbols that open up and encapsulated as a small murder scene.
Yeah, so I was approached by a DAO to make some curated pieces, and we kind of talked back and forth about what they wanted and all that good stuff. And I kind of came up with these blood diamonds, and I said, hey, obviously I'm not going to do anything with these there for you, but the more I create, I'd like to use them in my deal, and then you have your collectors be part of that.
You still with us, Noisy? Noisy has been rugged. Noisy, hop back on if you get a second. Really cool stuff. If you guys are interested in some of these builds that Noisy has been doing, you can check out murderverse.io, where it has links to all of these collections on OpenSea. And likewise, uh, you can check him out on Twitter at Foreign Organism. Noisy, I see you there, but it says no device connected. There we go.
I'm sorry, I had no clue Hey, this is me, by the way. Hi, guys.
You got rugged and then you're back. So
I did. Now I'm here, and you see all the full beauty. This is my meal ticket right here, buddy. How you doing?
disguise. Someone has to come on here with the rock star looks. It's definitely not me. That's why I stay behind the avatar. So appreciate you hopping back on. I was just telling everybody if they're interested, they can check out murderverse.io, where obviously you link out to your different collections, but also
Yeah.
they can check out the murder houses on OpenSea, and you have a number of collections and the builds come fast and furious. I know you say it takes a long time to get them together, but you're always popping incredible stuff into the work in progress channel. I'd encourage anyone to go in there and check out some of the links and walk around because the scale and scope is really impressive. Really impressive.
Man, thank you. Thank you
I
so
saw something
much.
where you were referencing of a new build that had to do with traps. Not really sure what's going on there, but I'm intrigued for sure.
Oh no, the trap set, drum set.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a murder house where I walk through it and something's gonna chop my head off or something like that kind of trap.
Dude, that would be so cool. I was thinking the other day, and I would love to do this. I'm going to talk to some people at CryptoBox and see if I can make this happen. But I would love to be able to walk up, like for this conversation, there's a poker table, right? You walk up, you trigger some kind of a blockchain poker game of some kind. You know what I mean? Same thing. You go over and you play the piano, you do something. I'd like to be able to trigger stuff like that. That would be very cool.
That would be dope. Definitely dope. Did want to touch on your photography as well because it's impressive stuff that you have here
Thank
for
you.
photography, and this is something that you do as well. And is this like secondary to your voxel stuff?
No, I've been shooting a lot longer. I guess I've only been shooting about 3 or 4 years, but I'm longer than the few months I've been doing box and stuff. Um, and I love shooting. I just kind of, you know, I don't even know how to explain it. Just right now, I'm in a funk, if that makes sense. I'm sure there's plenty of artists out there. I'm sure you even understand getting in a funk about things. I just can't pick up my camera right now and find any kind of inspiration. But voxels, I don't have to wait for a scene. I can create it.
Now, and voxels is just something you picked up and thought was cool.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, my little buddy, he plays Minecraft a lot, and my older child also plays Minecraft. So they're both, good, crazy into Minecraft, and so I've always had fun kind of playing around with that. I got kind of a background in construction, and when I was a kid, I used to draw little dream homes on graph paper and stuff like that. So maybe just amalgamation of everything over the years turned into liking
Well,
voxels. I don't know, man.
well, that's cool because I can't say the same for me. So certainly you have a talent. My little guy likes Minecraft, but he likes to stick me in the game and just send ghasts after me over and over again. So a little bit different. Your photography, I believe, is listed some places as well. So very cool to see the various talents of Noisy. Noisy, thank you so much for hopping on and sharing with us today. Rugged again, my man. Then you came back sideways. You keep trying to one up yourself. You're showing off here now.
That's what I do, man. Like I'll zig and zag. You gotta keep your eye on me. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with my connection. It's terrible. It's probably because I'm in my car, but
Right. So should we be on the lookout for, when you do get the inspiration to come back in with some photography as well?
man, I don't know when it comes to photography. I don't know that I'm gonna pursue much as I'm not I'm the guy you collect because you like it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be the big artist. It's just not me, man. I don't have that kind of marketing. I don't. It's just that's not. I'm not cut out for it. So if I do come back to try to peddle my wares, so to speak, or whatnot, I'm probably not going to be too aggressive about it, just because there's so much going on out there, and it's so easy to feel drowned out, and that for a guy like me, that leads to just being frustrated.
Right.
And so I probably, I will, and I'll show people stuff, but I'm probably not going to make a big push to try to sell a lot of photos until some kind of like market
Right.
change takes place.
I wonder if the context of your friend who was talking about being blocked by whale shark was photography. I think that would be interesting if it was or if it wasn't. But certainly there was a lot of spirited discussion on, the NFT world and the photography world as they were kind of merging here and what that meant.
Yeah, if I remember right, I think it was something along those lines, and I mean, there's just no place for we don't know each other. Nobody on this whole space internet knows each other. Why are we wasting our times with their own hate at each other? You know what I mean? I don't understand that. But
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
mean, like you said, you hopped in, you got context, and here you are, right? And I know people say that you are an incredible builder. A lot of people interested in you doing some custom builds and stuff of that nature. So I'm sure we're going to be seeing lots more of you, Noisy. You have so many talents. Looking forward
thank
to
you, man.
seeing what comes with Murderverse and how that continues to develop. But people interested can hop on now, get their own cool, very cool piece. This kind of talks to my childhood a little bit, right? In collectibles and in different
Yes.
ways, but I can actually have utility. I could actually take this and plop it into a plot and have it adapted and actually usable. I think that whale would be sick, by the way, whoever wanted to scoop that. So Noisy, thank you so much
Thank
once
you.
again for joining. We'll drop your links into the stream text chat so people can check it out, and can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you having me. I'm sorry for the connection issues, but I'm gonna listen to the rest of these guys, man. There's some great projects coming up here.
Yeah, thanks Noisy for joining us. Take care.
Appreciate you. Thanks, man. Bye.
Hello, Khaled. Crackman Photography. Can't wait to talk with you and what you have put together for us today. First of all, thank you so much for joining us. Really excited to have you on. You and I have been talking for a little bit about,
Yeah.
possibly coming onto this showcase. So glad we could finally make it work. And I don't know what time it is. You're in Paris, is that correct?
Yes, I'm in Paris. It's 8 p.m. now here.
Okay, so that's workable. I only feel a little bit bad, not terribly bad.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Well,
So thank you for having me here. So I heard about Whale community back in December, I think, when Whale Shark started investing in photography. So it was the first time that I heard about the Whale community, and then I joined the Discord and discovered an amazing community. And here am I to talk about my work.
yeah, no, I definitely, a lot of people, it resonated with a lot of people when they had seen it. Your style had kind of this. First of all, I'll let you describe it a little bit. How would you say is your style and aesthetic, and what your focus is, and what you try to do with photography?
For me, photography is just a way to express my feelings or my mood. So when I go out and shoot, I don't have a specific idea about what I want to shoot this day, but I just let my feelings and my mood to tell me what I want to shoot. So to explain a little bit more about my collection, I have to talk about myself first, because there is a big connection between my story and my collection. So I'm a photographer. I was born and raised in Morocco, in Africa, and at the age of 17, I moved to Paris. So when I moved to Paris, I was still young, so I had a kind of cultural shock. So I lived in Paris now for 10 years, but I think that I always lived in Paris, but with my Moroccan eye, so with my African view. So I see things differently. I feel things differently, especially at the cultural level, because and you can see this in my collection, it's a lot about solitude, and it's that feeling that I felt when I came here in Paris in the first years, because I was used to a lot of connection, a lot of warmness in my society in Morocco. And here in Paris, people are a bit different. They are distant, they don't talk too much, they fear people that are from other countries. So, and that's what I wanted to express here from my work. So those pictures, some of them are of from my first photographs. So they explain perfectly my state of mind at this time. So I can present and comment some of them to explain a little bit more about the title and the behind the scenes.
Sure, I'd love to start with this first one, which really caught my eye. I think we had
Yeah,
our first conversation about it. And this first one is called It's Over.
yeah, I can present it. Yes, for sure. Do you see my screen?
Oh, you know what? It looks like my screen dumped out as well.
No.
I think. Could you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I was here sharing the pictures and no one had seen that. That was not the best use of it. Hold on one moment. Let me dump this out as well. Looks like the internet's rugging a lot of things
Ah,
today.
okay. I stopped
There.
sharing.
Yep, we have your screen.
Oh, okay. I let you share to have a better connections because I think my connection is not that good.
Sure.
Yeah, so you can share It's Over and they will
I fully blame Noisy. I think he was up to no good with wherever he was going. And he is responsible for all the changes that we're seeing with our internet connections right now. So, Noisy, if you could let us present this and then get back to your antics, I think we'd be good.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes. Can
Yeah.
you see it now?
Yeah, I see it now. So
Great.
this photograph I shot it in 2015, and I call it It's Over because I see myself in this silhouette. So I was in the train station, and there was this silhouette in the other side of the train. So in the first how can I say in English? In the first plan, there is open doors, and in the second plan, there is closed doors, and in the third plan, there is this man standing there. And the reason I call it It's Over because in my personal life, I just finished my relation with my girlfriend at the time, and I was ready to move on emotionally. So I perfectly saw myself in this picture as I am the man standing behind the closed doors and with the blurry vision, I'm going away. So that's the story behind this one.
Yeah, and definitely for me, it made sense that this was Paris, like you said, with the personification of kind of the mood there and what you were experiencing, as well as, the color, contrast here. I found it to be a really beautiful piece. So, thank you for sharing more context on that. The next one is the lady. I'll let you pronounce this so I don't butcher the French.
Lady of Châtelet. So Châtelet is a place in Paris also. So this one was a technically hard one to do because I had like 1 or 2 seconds shortage. So I was going in a escalator and the person was going in the other way, and I just saw her and I thought she has an amazing look. So I just lowered the shutter speed so to have a blurry kind of patterns. So I just got her hair and her hat to show her silhouette, and I liked it. So I can maybe talk a bit more about abyssal thoughts. Yeah, this one. So yeah, this one is also one of my very personal photographs because I find myself in it as the other ones. So as this one was in back in 2016, if I'm not mistaken, and I followed this person for about 15 minutes with this photograph because I just found it that she has amazing look and amazing emotions in her face, and it felt like she's out of this world with her eyes. So no matter who is passing around her, she was still focused in her mind and her thoughts. So and it was a little bit of me and my state of mind at this time too. So that's why I called her Abyssal Thoughts.
Great name, and you can feel the emotiveness from that picture. You captured a really special moment there.
Thank you. This one I call her Fame. So it's an expression of the paradoxical world of warmness, commercial warmness, as we see in the shop, and the cold, the real world. That is the reality of Paris. In the at least in the first years when I came, but now it's a lot much better.
Right. And that's one of the great things about art is you can really encapsulate a moment in time, right?
Yeah,
you can encapsulate emotions and so many different things in that piece, and that's where it's really powerful.
yeah,
When it makes you feel, that's when I really, really resonate, and become attached to a piece. And certainly these evoke that.
exactly. So this one here where I saw the lights, and I express it by this photograph. It's what remains over the years, and for me, it's friendship. It's friendship that allowed me to see the light and to go through the solitude that I was going on in the first years in Paris. So I presented by this photograph because there is these two persons going from darkness to darkness, but at that moment there is light over them, and it gives a lot of meaning to me and to the scene. Oh, this one is a special one too. So I call it before the fireplace. So in 2019, there was the fireplace in the Notre Dame de Paris, as you see it, and they shot this picture like a few weeks before it happened. So I was very proud to take this photograph. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite too.
Beautiful.
Dancing pigeons. So this one it just expresses the freedom that I had when I came to Paris, when I quitted my family in Morocco, when I came here as a young age. I was 17 years old and had a total freedom to do whatever I want beside my studies. So yeah, for me, Paris was uh, a sign of freedom, a sign of loneliness sometimes. So yeah, this photograph expresses those feelings. So as you see, this is my first collection, but it is a very personal collection. So that's why I don't promote it a lot on Twitter or on social media. So because it has a value for me and it has to go to the right collector that understands the meaning behind it. Yeah. So this one is closed on culture. So this one was one of the first photographs that I did as a street photographer, and it resumes a lot of situations that I've been through when I try to shoot people. So they are always Mayfields with the greedy eyes, but it gives a nice opportunities and nice photographs.
I think it's the collection in total really tells a story, and that's part of why it really resonated with me, and I think a lot of other people that saw it as well in our community. And so happy to be able to speak with you more about it, um, and get that personal journey of you from Morocco to Paris, and what that experience was like. If you were to do a shoot today of
Yeah.
what your experience in Paris is, it would be very different than this, right?
Yes, because those ones are one of my first photographs. So as I said, it was a hard time. So my eye was focused to what represents myself and my state of mind at that time. But today I do completely different projects, completely different photographs with other styles. So yeah, like this project, for example. So this one is a futuristic project photographs. So I took a display model in different places in Paris and I photograph it. So I do time lapses like this one and also photographs.
Very cool.
Yeah, and this is the first part of the project. So I call it from metaverse to Earth because it's like a human way that I take to real life to photograph it.
And I saw, I think, on your Twitter as well that you're working on something else that has more pieces. Is that correct?
Yes, it's a collection of 101 unique photographs. So I can talk a little bit about it. So it's a collection of street photography, but I'm not photographing humans, but animals, dogs.
Okay.
So the small dogs of Paris, because I think they are heroes. So I may name the collection the other heroes. So it's mainly about dogs in Paris.
Very cool. Well, we look forward to that, but you have an amazing collection on Foundation. People who are interested can go and find you on Foundation under Crackman, which is an
Yeah.
aggregation of your first and last name. So Krakman.
Yes.
Likewise, they can find you on Twitter as your full name, right? So they can find you there as well and follow you, and on your Insta, which is full of beautiful photos that you've taken throughout the year with your work.
Yeah.
Khaled, thank you so much for joining us
Thank you.
today, and thank you for your valuable contributions in our community. And we look forward to seeing what you do next.
Thank you. I love you, man.
Take care.
Hello, hello.
Hey there, guys. So I don't know what happened to Moneyball. He may have gotten rugged as well. But
Oh,
Moneyball actually had reached out to me and said that, hey, this is a project that he's involved with and he's really excited about and would love to have on so that he could share a little bit more about what was going on. Unfortunately, Money has been rugged, so I give it over to you.
Thank you so much for having me on. Yeah, honored to be a part of this. So my name's Satiris. I'm one of the co-founders of Voxadeus, and we launched quite a while ago now, about 10 months ago. So early April. Oh, looks like Moneyball's connecting.
Ah, he's trying to.
Maybe you can get him to say hello as well. Um,
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead, Sirius. Sorry. I just got it back
no,
in.
all
Always,
good, all good, man.
always the multitasker. So right on brand for what we know him as within our community as well, and likely in yours also.
Wears many hats.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt the intro. Go ahead, Sirius. Go ahead.
No, not a problem at all. Maybe Moneyball, you can start us off if you want. Just
Sure.
you can
Yeah,
say a little
I
about
would.
the project or why
Yeah,
you
well,
highlighted it.
first of all, I'd love to get a little context here. So Moneyball, obviously we work together on a number of things. You're a valuable member of our community in the sports NFT realm, also a part of the committee that's been keeping us well entertained with the gamification of football and things of that nature. And you have dabbled in a lot of things here at Whale, and a very valuable member. So when you came to me and said, "Hey, this is something that I'm a part of and want to share with the community," you definitely have my trust and my ear. So we'll love to hear your association with this and your thoughts, and then hand it off to the team.
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate that, Nightmare. I, found the whale community, man, about a year ago now. After getting into Top Shot and seeing, Whale Shark up there, and it's like, hey, man, if we're gonna follow somebody into this NFT space, I think Whale Shark's probably a good guy to follow. Turned out to be a great decision because he really helped me, and the community, as community members as well, helped myself kind of learn the space and how to navigate, and how to identify, quality projects to get into. So actually, one of the first ones that I found was this project today, Voxadeus. I found it about May. The project's been around since April of last year. What really kind of caught my attention right away was that they were one of the first projects to get their avatars approved with the sandbox. I thought that was pretty cool,
Oh, wow.
and a big and a big utility, right, for their avatars to be used, and approved to be used in the sandbox. So that was something that initially kind of piqued my interest, but as I kind of got in and looked more into the project and the team behind it, I mean, they have such great looking avatars, and they're constantly getting updated to kind of look cooler. One of the ones that I own is called a Floristo bot, and I was actually able to add on accessories, I guess if you call them. But basically, I also purchased a bonsai from Zen NFT, if you're familiar with that project, and they kind of collabed with Voxodeus. So Voxodeus actually started putting on add-ons, like an accessory to my digital collectible asset. So it's really kind of unique the way they structure their project. It's not really like your standard 2D PFP. They really kind of took the next step on these NFTs and really brought a lot of utility, and it's really changing the traits as well. They built their own ranking system on their site. And I just really love the stuff that's coming out, and just a personal story for what I really saw about this team was that one of their original features that they kind of set out to do was give royalties to minters. There was some back and forth between the community, and they have their own legal counsel, so ended up having to pivot off of that. But what I saw there was basically that they really put the community first, and they wanted to make sure that the community was not going to be in a position to have any issues down the line. So that was something that I really appreciated from the team as it was all happening. And as you see with all these projects, there's ups and downs, and these guys really stick around and talk through everything. So it's been a fun project to be a part of, and I'm just really excited to showcase these guys today. Couple things that are coming up that are really, really cool. They have a 250 ETH giveaway. 250, right? One of the
Wow.
It's huge. It's called the Omega Key Game, which I'm sure Satiris will probably talk a little more about. But that's something that's really exciting coming up with the project. And I think right now it's also a great time, to get in, with the entry for some of these bigger blue chip projects. They have bigger floors, but right now we're looking at 0.22 to get in. I mean, timing is really a good time to find one that you like, and there's a lot of different varieties, a lot of different rarities. But yeah, just an overall fun project, quality team, and really happy to have Satiris, who's the founder here of Voxodeus. I think he has a background in product design and industrial design, but maybe with that, I'll pass it over, and he can speak a little more about the project.
Yeah, thank you for that context, Moneyball.
Yeah, thank you so much. Not really much more for me to say now. You did such a good job. Yeah, thank you, man. You clearly know the project inside and out, and it's been so great kind of having community members like Moneyball sort of participating throughout everything we're doing. And yeah, just maybe I can touch on a few points Money was kind of talking about. But so as far as the project goes, we're like a interactive 3D collectible. And so as you mentioned, my background sort of product design. Prior to this, I was designing surgical robots and then cinematography drones. So a lot of like 3D heavy kind of items. And then sort of late 2020, I was looking at the NFT space. I could see sort of like CryptoPunks picking up traction. And at the time, no one was doing 3D. And so I managed to assemble an amazing sort of team of co-founders, and then we just kind of had at it. And super fortunate. One of the co-founders, Ben, he's a games designer, and he runs his own indie game studio, and they got sort of seed funding from Microsoft. And I somehow managed to convince him to be our creative director. So he's been the sort of powerhouse behind all of these different designs. And so as far as a project goes, we have a number of different character types. And so similar with CryptoPunks, where you've got different sort of species types. So you've got the aliens that are the most rare, and then the zombies, and then the apes, and the men and the women. We've got a similar distribution where we've got these sort of godlike top tier characters that are the Ascendi. And then we've got these sort of mythical animal type characters that are the exos. And then we go down the distribution, and then we've got these kind of like org cyborg characters. And then we have sapiens, which are these human type characters. And then we've got robots, which are some beloved robot companions. And so as far as the project goes, we've got like a real breadth and depth behind our characters, and then also our lore. So one thing we really wanted to focus on early on was like building out this sort of kind of like Marvel universe, where we've got what we call the Cipherverse, and that was created by the Omega. And this Omega is this kind of mysterious, kind of like Satoshi-esque kind of character that created something amazing and then vanished. And no one's quite sure what happened. But as we sort of roll out the lore, we're slowly unraveling that kind of plot. And just a few things at a time with that. We're also partnered with Myth Division, so we're creating like a series of comics that will be kind of like unraveling that story and that narrative. And then we are also the official partners of the Sandbox. So we're the first project to partner with them to create custom avatars for their metaverse. So I played the video when Money was talking, and I think our characters translate really nicely into their aesthetic, because we modeled directly in voxels. A little bit like the Murder House as well. Super cool project. And so that was kind of like our approach with the characters, just trying to create this like really rich sort of foundation for the lore and the universe we can build around it. And then just a small thing, but we were also the first project to embed like a custom 3D viewer directly into OpenSea. So there's not many projects that can have like colored backgrounds, different menu items, different custom audio for all the tracks as well.
Very cool.
And then, one final point, just sorry, I know time's tight, but as Money said, we initially offered royalties to minters, but then there was some like legal concerns around that, and so what we've now done is offer minter rewards instead. So something very similar to as what was originally intended, but now we've just kind of framed them in a slightly more safer, hopefully more compliant way.
Yep.
So yeah, that's
super dope. I know there's a lot of people in the community saying that this is the first time that they've actually seen it or had exposure to it. So glad to have you guys come on. The process had started 10 months ago. Is that when you guys went live for minting?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we started minting in May, and
Okay.
then I think we were one of the last projects to use a curved pricing model. So we launched a few weeks before Bored Apes, and then they sort of completely shifted the paradigm with really low mint price, flat pricing. So for us, we kind of sold half the collection, and then it topped out at like 0.9 ETH. So we were like 10 times more expensive than Bored Apes. And so our minting kind of like slowed at that point, and then we sort of readjusted back down to 0.3 flat pricing. And so we've just been having like a steady kind of mint out since then, really.
Cool. And so where are you guys in the process now? Is it sold out?
We have sold out.
Excellent.
So
yep.
Now we're on to the next phase where we are sort of building out the avatars. We've got the 250 ETH Omega key game coming up. So there we're actually giving away 250 ETH. I think it's like 750,000 USD at current prices. So with that, we're
just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit there.
So I can just very quickly explain that if you
Yeah,
Still,
don't worry.
still
I
interested.
can listen.
Um,
Listen. I'm known to run over my time here, so not an issue. So
I feel awful.
let's
It's all
talk.
right.
We want to hear the alpha. That's why you're here.
Sick.
Moneyball brought you
Okay.
here because you got something dope. So we want to hear it for sure.
That's why it's called
Definitely.
Moneyball as well.
Exactly.
But so the Omega Key game, that will be this kind of key hunting game where the game will begin on the 22nd of February, and then we will randomly distribute Omega keys to our Sapien and robot characters that we call robots. So we've got 4,095 robots and 2,048 sapiens, so about 6,000 in total. So the game will begin by 8 keys being distributed randomly amongst those, and then people need to try and like buy that Voxo that has the key, and then they can register it on our website. And then each day, a new key will be revealed. And then as those keys get revealed, people try to gather up as many keys as possible. And so the first person to get 8 keys will win the first prize, which is 135 ETH. The first person to collect 6 keys will get the gold prize, which is 66 ETH, and then 33 and 16 ETH, respectively, for 4 keys and 3 keys. And so there's going to be quite a lot of like strategy and game theory behind like, do you claim a lower prize or do you go for the bigger prize? But then if someone, because once you've registered with your key, you can then sell it. And so if someone then claims a prize using a key that you've already used to register, that will then become invalidated. So it's this kind of game of how far do you push it type thing, and how do you maneuver across the collection.
Very interesting. Interesting game theory there on how that's going to play out.
Yeah, because it's obviously so much money on the line. We've consulted with kind of like Oxford, Cambridge PhDs, like game theorists and things like that to try and make sure we've got something pretty airtight.
Yeah, I'm over here looking at the robots and sapiens myself right now because obviously that's super cool, and it's accessible, right? It's accessible still at this point. So
Yeah,
appreciate the
very much
timing
so.
of when you guys came and joined us to talk more about it. What's next steps after after the Omega Key game?
So after the Omega Key game, our primary focus is launching the Sandbox Phase 1 avatars. So these will actually be issued as a separate NFT. So the Phase 1 will be an NPC, so a non-player character. And so if you hold a Voxo, you'll then be able to claim for free this kind of corresponding non-player character, Phase 1 avatar. And so what you can do with that is use it in your own land as your avatar in your own land, in your own games, and you can use them as sort of like characters to then interact with or just have like on display, which is pretty cool. And so I know you could maybe be a samurai character that's fighting like a robot uprising, and you've got all your different like robot characters sort of trying to fight you or something like that, which would be pretty cool. We also have a 12 by 12 plot in the sandbox. So we're like just below Bored Apes. So we're building out our like faction HQs in there. And so we want to try and get like really sort of double down on the sandbox experience. And then later in the year, once the multiplayer is released, each Voxo will then actually provide access to a one-of-one custom avatar that can be played all across their multiplayer, which is pretty cool. So you get, for buying a Voxo, you kind of get a sick 2D avatar, as you can kind of see on my profile picture. You get, I think, one of the most badass looking avatars in the sandbox. And then you also get all the kind of like native 3D files. So you can do a hell of a lot with those as well, which is pretty cool.
Very cool. I have to look in this in more detail. I'm taking off the monocle for a moment. We actually had a question from the community. They were asking, how do boosts come into play?
Ooh, very interesting question. So boosts are there's something we haven't like given too much focus on just yet. However, it kind of ties in quite nicely with this screen. So our follow-on project is called Scifikin. And so the character you see here is from our Voxodeus collection. So these guys are a bit more like cyberpunky. But then the Scifikin are from a different part of the Cypherverse called the Forbidden Far. And they're these more kind of like magical, mystical creatures that also have sort of 3 levels of evolution. So you'll get like the base level to begin with, and then you can sort of do stuff to make it evolve into higher levels. And each time it evolves, you'll get a new NFT. And so what all this then leads into is a wider sort of play to earn ecosystem. And so for us, we're trying to create this like wider framework for sort of a gaming experience. And so things like the boosts will then come into play as your voxos are used to like play in the kind of Cypherverse ecosystem.
Very cool. Will both collections be part of that play to earn gamification?
Yes. So the Voxodeus collection is our like Genesis collection.
Okay.
So they'll always be our like pride and joy. And then we've not launched Scifikin yet, but it'll be hopefully dropping like Q2 of this year. And then we'll launch these in packs. So these you can imagine a bit more like Pokemon, where you've got these different creatures. They have like the different character types, and then they can evolve. And then if you have a Voxo, that will then provide like boosts and leveling up to your Scifikin.
Yeah, I was just gonna say traditionally in these play to earn, dynamics, the Genesis are invaluable as far as being able to maximize, what you can do and have leverage for resources. So appreciate you coming on and giving us the alpha.
Mhm.
Someone has an additional question on interoperability. Is there the ability to take these elsewhere outside of Sandbox?
There is that ability. However, that's not something we're like currently offering as official partnerships. However, once you own a Voxo, you can just go to our website, click My Collection, connect with your wallet, and then you can download all the 3D assets. So you can download all the 3D GLB files for your character and like all the background scenes and like the bonsai and all of that, and then you can actually take those into like Blender or whatever, and then rig them and import them into wherever you want, basically.
Very cool.
But at the moment, just the Sandbox is our official kind of partner.
Right, but this is NFTs. We like to break stuff, so
for sure.
As someone said, like, let's not forget why we're here, right? NFTs are punk rock, so inevitably someone's going to try. So thank you for giving us that info. I think this is someone looking to credential, right? Like some people ask this question to get an idea, like, hey, yeah, I'm down with this project, given the answer. So the question is for you, Satiris, what other games do you play or have you enjoyed?
Interesting. My background is not so much like the fantastical, but I'm a big proponent of like Halo. Very much enjoy Destiny, and so I think a lot of our thematic inspiration is coming from that. And then as far as like the sort of like play to earn ecosystem, we're actually trying to like flip the script a bit, where we're trying to not just have like, for want of a better word, like Ponzi mechanics. And so we're trying to find something truly kind of engaging there. Luckily as well, though, our creative director is absolutely obsessed with Dark Souls. And so I think we'll also be kind of drawing a lot of inspiration from those kind of mechanics.
Very cool. Well, I think there's some appreciation there that you enjoy shooters, but shooters with narrative and story and world building. So I think that was a great answer. So thank you for sharing.
Hey, one last thing, Nightmare. So Satiris has been very generous since we, just minted out. There's not really any free mints to give out, but Satiris has offered to give one Voxodeus to the whale community. What we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and post it in stream text right now. But you're going to want to join their Discord. Type in the phrase, "Well, hello there," and you'll be entered into a giveaway. And the team, and in fact, NF Steve has just joined the whale community as a dolphin, I believe, and he's a community mod at Voxodeus. So he'll be choosing a winner in 48 hours at the town hall meeting in Voxodeus. So go check it out, guys.
Oh, wow. Super dope. Moneyball, can we make this for role holders specifically?
That's a good question. You want me to take this one down then?
Let's do two. So we can do one for role holders and then one for everyone. With the role holders though, we'll probably need to send you the list of usernames, and then you can just we'll like pick a few users at random, and then you can pick the first one that's got the role that you need.
Sounds good. We definitely appreciate both the entire whale community, but want to make sure that the people that are really vested in the alpha here and want to carry things forward have an opportunity as well, because I'm sure there'll be a ton of interest in this. So generous of you guys. Thank you so much. I'm really conflicted because I want someone from the community to win, but I would love to hop in myself. I think I'm going to go and get some sapiens and look for what I can selectively. That way I know I picked it and I have that connection to it. But shout out to everyone.
You've got so much going on.
Yeah, shout out to everybody on the stream. Make sure you hop over there and participate, because this is an amazing opportunity, and definitely appreciate you guys giving us so much frank context and alpha with regards to what you're building.
Thank you so much for having us on. Truly an honor.
We'll look forward to having more, and inevitably, I'm sure down the line, you may be with our sister organization, LEET, talking about some of your play-to-earn gamification when that time comes. But in the interim, thanks again for joining us, guys, and looking forward to see what's the next iteration of what you guys do.
All right, thanks, Nightmare.
Thanks so much.
Take care. Take Bo.
Hey, Nightmare, what's going on, man?
Hey, thank you guys for hanging. We are dropping alpha as we always do, and what better way to end on a community spotlight run by me with something food related? So you guys are right on theme, right on time, and I'm excited to talk to you because I've seen what you guys do on Twitter and it's super fun. So, Tigbo, tell us a little bit about this crew, this project, and your connection to it.
Yeah, man. First of all, definitely thank you so much for having us on. I appreciate it. You and the entire Will community. Just a quick reflection point with my journey through this whole thing. I started in this Discord, in the Whale Discord, about almost a year ago. In a few weeks, it's going to be a year now. And I felt like this definitely was a nice onboarding point for me into the space and getting my feet on the ground here. And as everyone else mentioned, the other guests presenting here, it's kind of had effect in their way and the projects they've been working on here. So definitely appreciate the community and all the members are part of it and helping me kind of get to where I am today. At the same time, I joined another Discord called the Deposit Kingdom, which is run by Pete Overset, who is the host of Club Top Shot. So if you were around March, May, you definitely probably caught an episode of Club Top Shot on YouTube. So he created a Discord. That's where I met my other team members here, Dangi, who's our lead dev, and Chenko, who's the co-creator and also artist of the project. He'll get into the more details, but as far as my part in this, I joined the team because I saw what they were doing. I thought it was really cool. Chenko kind of gave a few of us in the Discord some test PFPs to try out, see how it looked. And I kept it on, and I went on the Discords, and I got complimented on it. So I told Chenko, dude, this might be like an awesome idea you have. I would love to be a part of it. I have more of a collaboration and community kind of outreach that I do for Lad City. So that's my background. So I want to help them out with the marketing and just event planning and collaboration with different communities. So I joined the team, and ever since then, we've been hard in the background, just kind of grinding away and getting ready for our launch coming up.
Very cool, man. Well, thank you for bringing it to our attention and bringing it to the whale community. Team, I'll let you kind of introduce it. It's obviously very nuanced, and I want to hear this from your perspective for sure.
Well, it's very interesting coming from the for the photography space and the voxel space that we were talking about before, the hot dogs, and then we come in and we're just some goofballs doing some hot dog PFPs, right? So that's my general angle on this and on NFTs is like, let's have fun, and be silly, but take it seriously. So as you can see, our artist right here down below me is in a hot dog suit. Unfortunately, mine did not arrive in time, or else I would be in a hot dog suit as well. So I feel a little bad, but we just want to have fun, honestly, with a PFP project and see where it goes after that. So Chenko has been is a really good artist, and he started doing some Gremplified stuff. So one vibe is one vibe, the toads kind of thing. So he would Gremplify folks' PFPs. And then fast forward a little bit, and Chenko, you can actually pick it up from here. How did the hot dog concept come about?
Yeah, so just being in Club NGMI, I just started drawing everybody's profile pictures as toads, and everybody's like, oh, you got to start doing a project. And so I'd like been thinking about it for a long time. And then our other co-creator who's not on here, Hopper, him and I went to the Zoo Lights in Chicago and got some hot dogs and started talking about NFTs. And Hopper had never really known much about NFTs. And so later that night, he sent me like a handful of sketches that he'd done of this hot dog character. And I was like, yo, dude, this is awesome. And I was like, I'll buy this from you. Like, put it up on OpenSea, like mint it, like figure out the process and we'll go from there. And he turned me down. Still trying to get that hot dog. But so from there, we just started exchanging sketches back and forth, and we're like, let's just create a character. We can take this somewhere. It's fun. It's cute. It's silly. And just learn about NFTs and the whole process along the way. So since then, it's kind of just been a grind. We've been drawing for about a month and a half now, and just finished up the art this last week. And yeah, excited to finally bring it to the public and get people talking about it.
Part of the fun of the Dougs is going to be that it's really one Doug, but it's this Doug experiencing life. So there's not 10,000 different apes that have different kind of personalities or vibes or whatever. This is just one hot Doug making its way through the world, trying to not be eaten by hungry people like you, Nightmare. Or me. I actually think tonight's hot dog night at my house is going to be pretty exciting. So yeah, that's a different conceit, and we want to lean on the storytelling aspect of things. So one thing that we're planning to do is release comic strips related to Doug and Doug's way through the world. So hopefully comedic in nature. We're going to work with an artist and a writer to do that, because I'm not a funny writer, and I don't think Chenko can write or Tig can write comic strips, but that's part of our to-do list items once we mint out later on, is to get kind of comic strips going as far as the lore. So yeah, hot dogs. Let's see, what else do we have? We also just released our website. So that's pretty exciting. See if we can put that in the chat.
All of these links or screenshots are from the website.
Yeah.
And I think within this stuff is just, we've been trying to keep it fun, keep it silly, but also learning things from other NFTs that we've saw be successful. So in addition to doing a lot of the art, I've been doing a lot of GIFs and trying to up our sticker game in the Discord. So if you hop by our Discord, you can see some of the fun stickers we have going on. I think we have them dispersed throughout the presentation as well.
Yeah, now you saying GIF, I don't know if you're intentionally trying to trigger half the audience, or that's really the how you roll with it, but I'll let that one slide, given my love for hot dogs. I do have to say, I'm sure you guys will show some of it, but I know that when I saw the zombie Doug, I thought it was a pickle. So I was, I said, there's pickles part of this collection as well? I was told, no, it's a zombie or he's sick, etc. So I think there's so many really fun puns, and you can tell the authenticity of you guys really enjoy it in what you do in your socials. And so, everybody's apprehensive when it comes to PFP projects, especially ones that are, they're coming in trying to be light, and you just want to make sure that it's something that has credibility. And given that Tigbo has stepped forward and say, hey, I know these people, right? They're in the space, they're credible, they're trying to do something authentic. And likewise, you can tell the genuine nature of you guys' purpose from what you do. So I've spent a little time in your Discord, follow your Twitter, which is hilarious. And then the subtlety in the things that you do, because this is a project about hot dogs, but I mean the care to just, you know, talking about meeting the hot dogs, MEAT, and just some of the small details on how you talk about the rarity traits with the anatomy and whatnot. I really appreciated it, so wanted to share that with you guys.
Yeah, it's you know, the vibe we give off on the Twitter, the vibe we give on Discord, that's who we are. That's how we're trying to put out. You know, we're not trying to be this PFP projects that promises a game coming up and staking and tokenomics and all this stuff. You know, we're just creating this character and having him show different traits and different styles of his, I guess, everyday life while he goes, like we said, you know, goes through life without living as long as he can before expiring or getting eaten by somebody, you know.
Right.
And then if you want to show I think that I think there's a few other slides that we could show as well. You know, the website's up today. You know, the website launched today, so you guys can go check it out. Also join the Discord and Twitter. So the pre-sale minting will be on the 22nd of February, and we're gonna kind of throw I guess a different way to, I guess, discuss the window of the pre-mint window. So we're gonna have a cool event that's gonna involve definitely some hot dogs, some guests, and determining the certain amount of time of how long the pre-sale minting will be live. And then after that, we'll have the public minting shortly after. And currently, we have the Discord open. We still have pre-sale slots that we're giving away to community members and different collaborations we're working with. And obviously, for you guys, for the whale community, you know, we're gonna raffle off 20 pre-sale slots to the role holders, and also a free mint of one of the dugs as well. We raffle off to the holders. So definitely excited to kind of give that to the community and come join us, have some fun. Our fan art has been pretty solid. Some people have really gone beyond the fan art and got creative with it. So that's always good to see, and the engagement we have so far. Like I said, you know, we just opened the Discord last week, and the feedback we've gotten so far has been great. And we just, you know, definitely enjoy the vibe we've gotten so far, and that's what we're kind of putting out there for everybody.
Yeah, and just to kind of touch back onto your point about the pickles, we may have pickles in the hot dog selection. We do have 59 different bodies, which sounds like a lot. But I think really in kind of exploring the NFTs and looking at the ones that we liked, we really attached on to like the doodle style rarity. So that we don't necessarily have a lot of like unique one of ones, but we do have a lot of special bodies that kind of break some of the rules of the other typical dugs that we've been sharing with you, that are going to be in very limited batches. And so I think that's about like maybe 20 to 30 of those bodies are going to fall into that category, where there will be like less than 20 of them total in the collection.
Very cool. It sounds like some alpha being dropped here, so we appreciate it, guys. I know that the website just went up today, so this information is coming out fast and furious, and a lot of people are going to be reacting to some of the stuff that we talk about.
For sure.
So, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, you know, join the Discord. You know, come on and just have some fun with us. Like I said, you know, we're not anons. We're here. We're showing our face. We're here just to have fun and provide just a different perspective of the PFP thing. You know, where I feel like it looks great as a profile picture. Some people have kind of caught on to what we were putting out there, and some of the whale members already have joined the Discord. I've seen some in there, so it's pretty cool to see that. But definitely excited to get this going and get new members in, and you know, get launch day going.
Yeah, I know you guys are focusing on the fun, and there's a lot of detail to the art and the humor aspect of it. I wouldn't doubt that you have some other thoughts in mind on possibilities to extend this afterwards, but you know, you want to keep this focused on what genuinely it is, right? A bunch of people having fun, but you know, is there stuff in scope beyond after mint and establishment and everything else that you're kicking around and kind of extending this and building out the community?
Yeah, I think there is, but I'm personally hesitant to latch on to one specific idea or a few specific ideas for what we're going to do with the project moving forward. Just because, as we've seen, NFTs move very quickly, and emitting a token that's been hot, I don't know if it's going to last. Right. Doing companions, that's been hot as well. I don't know if that's going to last either. So right now we're intentionally leaving it open-ended as far as our major plans moving forward. One of the cliches in NFTs and in crypto in general is, are you in it for the tech, in it for the art or whatever? I'm in it for the tech, and I'm in it for the community. So I'm interested to see what we could do moving forward with these NFTs to bend the technology to what the community really wants out of the dugs. So we'll see what happens afterwards. One other thing that we are planning to do is we're already working on some merch for once we mint out as well. So Q2 2022, we're looking at some hot Doug merch, which I think, I mean, honestly, Doug looks good as a PFP. He'd look good on a hat. He'd look good on a nice comfy sweatshirt. So I'm looking forward to getting some Doug merch moving forward. But yeah, there's not currently a 3-year plan for the Dougs. We want to involve the community in those kinds of decisions moving forward.
And we are dedicating a portion of the funds from the mint to go back into the community to build these things that we're going to be providing future value for into the project.
No, I just noticed that you guys have come prepared. You have multiple assets up here. The slideshow's been up now. I can switch this over, Danny, to your screen share here of, I believe,
yeah,
the
let's
website.
do that. Let's show the website. So yeah, you can come hang with our website. Look at that. We got dark mode enabled because we're not. We respect you all, but if you want light mode, you can do that.
Who would?
Exactly. So come hang, come join in the Discord, come say hello. We're building it out as we go right now, so we want to hear from you all as far as where you want to see the Dougs go next.
I think I think that the question that was asked relative to extending things beyond after the mint out or whatever is less to pin you guys to something with specificity, but just to share in confidence that you plan to continue to build and evolve this IP and build the community. Right? There's plenty of roadmaps that promise ridiculous things. Or things that don't even make sense, right? Like at 25%, everyone gets a pizza. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's some ridiculousness there involved, and so having some confidence that you guys understand the space and are committed to evolving and moving things forward, and not just minting. And there you go, because there are some projects that have been like that, and I get the impression that you guys, though you're tight to the vest, do have ideas on what you're going to do. So looking forward to seeing what that is.
Nightmare, you made a mistake. So. In the chat, One Lick Wonder in Twitch mentioned, hey, did Tig, Dangy, and Chenko know each other before this project? The answer is yes. So it's part of that Discord, the Deposit Kingdom. We actually formed a smaller group called Club NGMI. Fast forward a while, we became a close-knit group of friends that try to make money in NFTs and trying to hang out and talk NFTs, that kind of thing. And part of our smaller group's roadmap was actually to have a pizza party. So I and our team actually threw a pizza party across the world, literally, at one point in October. So yeah, we love pizza parties. It's so stupid.
Well, if you can execute it in a way that's authentic and own it, I can appreciate that. If there's anyone on this team that can appreciate the pizza party, it's me. I can be converted. You have to have some pineapple in there, and I'm good.
If it's whale, we gotta have pineapple pizza available. But definitely, like we said, appreciate you guys having us on. Excited to have some of the whale members come over, join us, and just talk Dougs and show more sneak peeks. Definitely more announcements coming up and collaborations, and definitely we're in the background working, and definitely want this to be successful and keep growing and building from it. So definitely looking forward to and excited to have everyone join us.
Yeah, and I can definitely say that I have confidence in your commitment, even more so now that I see your team in hot dog suits. Certainly no one has a hot dog suit just because they want to, and so it's circumstantial and just trying to play a role here. So that got everyone sold. But I think people immediately, when they saw hot dogs, there was comments that they were sold. So you guys are good. Looking forward to seeing how this continues to evolve over the next couple of weeks. And likewise, looking forward to all the fun to be had on your Twitter and interacting on your Discord.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, and thanks, Tig, for organizing this.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone.
Appreciate you guys.
And that's it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Whale FM Community Spotlight. This is my absolute favorite time of the month when we have the chance to share what you guys are working on, what you're excited about. I'm getting excited about it. I'm pretty hyped up. We will excuse the various faux pas of people intentionally rugging me noisy after he got off, as well as calling me out for not liking a pizza party. I think, maybe that was due. I am a pizza lover, so who am I to say that on a roadmap that shouldn't be there? But either way, be sure to check all of the links that were dropped in the Discord. We will drop them again. Likewise, on our Twitter, we shared the links to the various projects that we talked about today. Again, this is coming from the whale community. And reach out to us if you are building something cool, if you have something in the works that you are proud of, or you're working and need some feedback from our community and team. We love to be part of what you do and continue to be a resource for all things NFT. Thanks for tuning in.